Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and welcome back to another video. And today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the Stadium Easter egg in Modern Warfare Warzone, not only effectively, but also quickly as well. So before we do begin though, just because it's YouTube and I have to do this, don't worry, I would not want to spam you unless I had to. But if you guys simply just happen to enjoy the video before you take off at the end, I would tremendously appreciate if you could drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that beautiful stuff, because that's very much appreciated, and it will be able to let you tell me and YouTube you want to see more videos like this, and then they get recommended to you more often, and then that way I can make more videos for you guys. So it's a rinse and repeat cycle of awesomeness. So if you enjoy this video and it helps you out, please do those. And other than that, let's begin with how to do the Stadium Easter egg in Modern Warfare Warzone. So the Stadium Easter egg is going to be very chaotic as you're probably doing this. Right now, as I'm recording this video, it's very, very popular, and you can honestly expect probably a good majority of everybody in the lobby to be doing this Easter egg with you. So do me a favor and just try to be patient and try to stick with it. Don't give up at the same time. Don't get frustrated if you can avoid it, because everyone's going to be trying to just try just as hard as you to do this Easter egg. There's skill-based matchmaking, so I'm assuming you're probably going to be getting identical clones of you, so however sweaty you are, expect that in return, because everyone else wants the glow too. So, anyways, other than that, let's begin. So, the best way that I can put this for the tutorial is the following. There's 3 key cards on the map. There is going to be either A, a key card that spawns per floor, B, you're going to have multiple key cards spawn on one floor. Some floors will be empty, and then one might just have one. And then also the last thing is that you might just get very unlucky with the spawns, and you might not find one, and you might just have to kill enemies. There's a lot of outcomes that can happen with this. What I recommend is that you do this with a party if ideal. If you do not happen to have anybody that can play with you, I would still even recommend trying randoms. Randoms, I know, don't have a good reputation, but I promise you, doing this solo is going to not only be difficult, but is going to be miserable. Do this with a team if you can do it. Anybody helps, even if it's just one. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to end up having you and your buddies look for the 3 key cards. There's going to be a key card associated to each floor, even if it doesn't spawn on that said floor. So in this case, let me explain. These are the key cards that could possibly be the ones you find. You can either find key card P2-16, CL-19, or EL-21. I originally thought that the key card that was associated with a certain floor would only spawn on that floor, but that's not the case because I have found it to not be true. I have found the top floor on the bottom floor and vice versa. So basically, it's a matter of randomness. And it's not in a sense of randomness that's like, oh, hey, these are the locations I can show you, and you can check these certain locations, kind of like COD Zombies, where there's random location spawns, but it's within reason. It's like, out of all of these 3 locations will spawn at 1. I don't think that works in Warzone. I think that's literally just going to spawn on any pixel it sees fit. So you can literally find it anywhere, except for, I think, the roof. I don't think you can quite find it sticking on a roof, but if you look hard enough, you're going to eventually find it, don't worry. But essentially, what you're going to want to do is that if you get a certain key card, you will need to take it to a certain floor. So let me explain. If you find the key card P2-16, that goes to the bottom floor, or in this case, the parking garage or the basement, and the door to find the ability to access this said room is going to be down below a ramp. In the parking garage, there is only one area that is like what I'm describing here, is 2 slanted downward ramps. You want to go down there, and there's going to be a corner where there's one single door. It's the only single door down there, and that's going to be the one for that key card. You will know exactly what I'm talking about when you find it. Then there's the key card CL-19. This is associated with the middle floor, or in this case, the one that you're probably going to be finding a lot of people on the most. And since this is probably the most busiest floor in Warzone right now, this one might be the hardest to find for you. But when you do find it, or if you can get it, you're going to want to end up taking it to the bar location on the middle floor, which is a mixture of the colors blue, white, and black. It's a very easy location to not find sometimes, but if you can get used to it, you can end up getting accustomed to it real quick, and the door for it is tucked away in the corner of the bar. Then the last key card due to process elimination is EL-21. This goes to the roof or the top floor, and this is actually a little bit of a complicated way because I didn't even originally know how to get up on the final floor. What the way you have to get up there is you either A, have to zip line up or walk up the stairs to get it, which can be a little bit complicated if you're not familiar with the layout of the stadium, or the best way, which is the way I recommend, is that if you're doing this with teammates and you're all taking a floor, from the sky when you're first spawning in, just land straight into the broken windows. There's 3 broken windows, and if you were to pull up the map on your gaming console, like for example, if you were loading in for the very first match, and you hit the back button and you see the normal Warzone map and you're picking your location, obviously you'll pick Stadium. If you were to zoom in on Stadium, on the right half of Stadium there is a part that looks like an outline of a road or a long stretch of a stick. And you're going to want to land on that location, and when you are landing in that general direction, you will see a pair of windows you can just glide right in, and you will be taken to the top floor, and the door up there is going to be the only door that's not blocked off by blue tape. If you find a room blocked off with blue tape is not the right door. The only door that's going to be usable is the one that's not blocked off with blue tape. However, though, also on the final floor, this is the final door, because there's the 3 doors with the computer, and then there's the final door where the Galil is and all the Easter eggs and all that good stuff. And that door is going to be a keypad door, and there's no cover for it. You're essentially going to have it where it's a hallway, and if you were to be staring directly at the final door where the Galil spawns, to the right of you is an empty hallway that you cannot cover yourself at all unless you either have teammates watching your back or you have a riot shield or something. So that is the doors, and that is the key cards. Key cards are 100% random. I've seen them spawn in multiple groups. I've seen 3 or 2 spawn in at a time on the same floor. I've not found some of them sometimes. I've found them before enemies. I've found them after enemies. But the good news is they are neon glowing blue, and it's impossible to miss if you're looking directly at it. The red key cards, by the way, will spawn at the stadium still, but they are for the Bunker 11 Easter egg. It's just for opening up other bunkers. Do not pick those up. You want to find a neon blue one. And the only way that you can find them is either on the floor or on an enemy. They will never spawn in chests. They will never spawn in chests. If you can't find it on the floor, it's very likely it's either on another floor or an enemy has picked it up. And you cannot tell if an enemy has it unless you have killed them. So, once you end up having all the key cards that you need, what I recommend you do is this. You could either do one of 2 strategies. Number 1 is that you can have all of your teammates get a floor. You can have, like, let's say, if you're having at least a team of 3, have 1 per floor. And essentially what you're doing is you're trying to get all the key cards at once before the match ends or before somebody else can find it. Because if you group up and you all do 1 floor at a time, you're basically essentially not maximizing your time. What's going to happen is that you're going to have it where enemies are going to be having that floor either A, to themselves, or they're going to be actually just, getting it before you because you're not in there competing with them to get that other key card that you could be getting if you were to separate. So essentially you're going to want to split up even though it's a quad mode and you can end up getting double teamed because it's more efficient to get the key card than it is to kill anyways. You might get lucky, you might not even run into people, but you're going to want to maximize your time. I recommend bringing a riot shield down with you, so if you do get dog team, you can just block them off. You can block the bullets with the riot shield, or you can just protect your back. That will probably be ideal for you. And then the second way is that if you have a team of 4, or a team of 3 even, essentially what you can do is you can go on to 2 of the 3 floors, and you can have your teammates protect you and try to make it so that way you're most likely not to drop the key card. It's still 2 on 4 at the most, but your chances of protection are higher because you can have the one guy with the key card get away even if your teammate that was defending you dies. So you don't lose the key card is what I'm saying. Now, the problem is, though, is that you do end up not getting all 3 key cards. You don't get the exact code. But luckily, though, the key cards, you don't really need 3 of them per se. You can fudge it with 2. The code is only so long for the Stadium Easter egg, and there's only so many numbers and symbols that if you get at least 2, you can pretty much guess your way through. Think about it this way. There's only so many numbers and so many symbols that if you were to get 2 of them, you basically have gotten almost half, or if not more than half, of the 9-digit code to unlock the door in the first place. Because what's happening is that when you go to a room and you get a computer, and you get a mixture of numbers and symbols, essentially what's happening is the more computers you get, a certain symbol will now become a number, and now you can fill in more numbers on that code. So like, for example, let's say the code was 113824698, and let's say that all the ones were the house symbol, and you didn't know that until you got to the second computer. Basically, if you wanted to, theoretically, you could just guess numbers 1 through 10 to fill in the rest of the numbers. Because if you know the rest, it can only be one of possibly 10 other numbers. So you're just kind of guessing it. It's not quite that easy, but it's the best way I can explain it. You're basically doing process elimination. The problem is, though, is if you only do one key card, which you theoretically could do, but it'd be much more harder, instead of having a possibility of 1 or 10 different numbers, you get all the other numbers, like, 100. You get, 1 through 100 because you're in the double digits. So I'm essentially recommending that you do one of those two strategies. Or you could do a third additional strategy, which is using a glitch that I made on yesterday's video, where you essentially get a four-wheeler and you have a teammate ride on the front of it, and you slam them into the wall breach, and you can have them get to the computer that way if you don't happen to find the key card. And you can also do this to either A, get the blueprint, or not get the blueprint if you want. If you just take the four-wheeler to the final door, you can get in the room. But if you want the blueprint, you can just slam them into the computer rooms, and they can get the codes and then just kill themselves and rinse and repeat. That's how me and my friends did it. We did a mixture of finding the original key cards and then glitching into a room. And that's what happened. So that's pretty much it. So once again, that is pretty much it for today's video, guys. I hope you ended up enjoying. If you have any questions, do feel free to let me know in the comments down below, and I will definitely clarify for you. But otherwise, I hope you ended up enjoying. If you did, once again, I would appreciate if you could leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that beautiful stuff, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Thank you for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed another YouTube video from the most unique YouTuber you'll ever see. Peace out, guys.